A lot of people send gift cards, Peter. And, I'm not opposed to that because if your children or grandkids live far away, you don't want to mail cash. You want to mail a gift card, which you can, stop payment on.
And welcome into Financial Focus, presented by the best of the best in financial services, as named by the readers of the Lake City Reporter, the last 10 straight years and running concurrent champions crowned again by those readers' votes from the Lake City Reporter in financial services. Founder and CEO of GulfCoast Financial Services, John Kuykendall, here with us as always, keeping us financially focused. And this time of the year, John, what else do we have to talk about but food and shopping?
That's right, Peter. It's that time. Black Friday actually started a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving. So it's not that one day event. So we get plenty of time to shop those bargains and spend that money.
Yeah, those big retailers really have made some adjustments to Black Friday over the course of the last, I'd really say, kind of 2 decades. It turned into kind of a piranha feeding frenzy there for a while, and then they said, "Hey, let's bring this back and close stores on Thanksgiving." And then with kind of the digital and online shopping revolution, really extended it beyond just a 1 or 2 day event.
Yeah, everybody used to have to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning and go down and get in line at the big box store to get those bargains. But now those bargains are online. They're at the store. I got a thing from Walmart the other day. They had the specials 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. So it's not as big a deal as it used to be, but they still get the people in there.
Yeah, well, waking up at 2 a.m. to go fight the crowds, those were the days, John. Well, today we're going to be talking about shopping for financial products. When, why, how do we shop for financial products? What financial products should we be shopping for? And specifically, as we are all sort of in the gift giving spirit, if we want to give a financial gift, what is the best way to go about doing so and actually convey some value and values along with that financial gift? John, is this a conversation that you have with your clients there at Gulf Coast Financial Services?
Yeah, Peter, we talk to them all the time about how can we gift, gifts to the grandkids, the kids, that will be meaningful, but at the same time we'll be able to appreciate. And one of the ways that we talk about that is by making a contribution into a 529 plan or a custodian account where the grandparents and anyone that wants to contribute can make deposits into that account, and then the child or the grandchild gets the ability to watch that money grow and learn about investing. And then later,
and can earmark it for specific
yeah,
purposes in some cases, right?
sure,
The
we can use it
education.
for education. We can use it for that first home deposit. We can buy a car with it. We've used it for a lot of different things. It's certainly a way that we can get our kids to learn the ability to save, watch the money grow, and at the same time be a meaningful gift that later on they'll be able to use to their own needs, especially like education.
Now, John, is there any minimum amount to get one of these educational? Let's take the 529 first and tackle that. Is there a minimum amount or maybe even a maximum amount that we can put away into our child or grandchild or children's educational expense fund?
There are limits, but the limits are so high on the 529 plans that most individuals will never make it. But there is an $18,000 annual exemption, so you can't give more than 18,000 a year. But certainly over the course of the time, you can contribute and set up a lot of money, which later can be used to roll out into a Roth IRA or other things if we don't use it for education. And the education of the 529 plan, it has a beneficiary, which would be the grandchild. But if he doesn't or she doesn't use all that money, we can change it to another beneficiary, Peter. So
Yeah.
we can help multiple kids, grandkids, and kids with that 529 plan over a lot of years.
They're way more flexible than they once were, not only
Yeah.
with the transferability, but kind of the loosening of definitions of what qualifies for educational expenses, even being able to use some money now for private K through 12, and
Yeah.
then the ability to roll that over into the Roth. That was a big
Big
improvement
change.
on those accounts just this last year.
Yeah, big changes last year. Before that, if we didn't use it, we had to take it out and pay the taxes on it. So being able to move that money, having it grown, move it over to a Roth is a big benefit for any of our clients, Peter.
When you speak about the $18,000 annual limit, that's not exclusive to this conversation about the college accounts, though, the 529s. That is
No,
more just how much we are
annual,
allowed to gift per year per person, right?
right, and we can give that money to anybody. 18,000 a year can go to anybody, and you can do it as many times as you want to different individuals. It's 18,000 per one individual, but you can gift it many times.
At a certain point in time, that becomes a rather effective estate planning strategy, right?
Yeah, that's the annual gift exclusion. And it's great for estate planning because, Peter, we can, right now it's over $13 million is the estate where we start worrying about estate taxes. That doesn't affect a lot of people. But with the sunsetting of the laws in 2025, we may go back down to the old limit, which was 3 million, and that may affect people. So what we can start doing for our estate planning is to gift that money out to our heirs and to our kids tax free, if as long as it's in a non-qualified account, or you can pay the taxes and then gift it. So it's a way to get them the money without taxes.
Well, again, kind of circling back, looking at this from a higher level, talking about financial gifts, how to make them of meaning, transferring value and values. And since we're in shopping season, when and where and why we need to shop for certain financial products, if we are giving them as a gift, maybe, John, a gift of convenience or experience, I always felt was, yeah, cash is nice. Cash is always nice, having a few extra dollars, but maybe more impactful and meaningful, something of convenience or experience, a trip, an outing, a golf together, going out for
Yeah.
even a hike together, or something that you know would make life easier. Maybe you help somebody sponsor a house cleaning, get that task taken off of their shoulders, right?
Well, that's right. I wouldn't mind having somebody pay for a maid to come over and clean my house, uh, and save me from
Ever,
having to pay
ever,
for
by the way, gift ideas. Just saying.
it. That's a great one. Hey, Brent and Todd, if y'all are listening out there, y'all can certainly do that. But, it is a gift of convenience. And Peter, what better way to spend time with a child or a grandchild than to take them to lunch, take them to a movie, spend some time with them, and at the same time, give them a gift that they want, without having to send cash. A lot of people send gift cards, Peter. And, I'm not opposed to that because if your children or grandkids live far away, you don't want to mail cash. You want to mail a gift card, which you can, stop payment on. But it's while it's not, I don't know, it's not personal. It is personal if you figure out where they shop. If you find out what your grandchild or child is in, they like a certain cosmetic, they like a certain brand. Well, then you can get a gift card to that store, and it makes it a little bit more personal, and they're more likely to spend it because, Peter, a lot of these cards are still out there with balances on them years after, and nobody's spending them. I
Yeah.
think Starbucks charges per year if you don't use it.
Right, right. No, I don't know about Starbucks in particular because people would know not to necessarily get me a Starbucks gift card, but ones from stores that they know that I do shop at,
Uh-huh.
that would be something that I would appreciate. But I've got some unused gift cards myself, John. So I know these stats from Bankrate probably are reflective. 43% of Americans have at least one unused gift card. The average balance, $244 of unused gift cards per person. The average value varies based on income bracket, with households with higher earnings generally having higher values of unused gift cards. And the reasons are people forget about them, they lose them, the store goes out of business. I actually still have in my box at home a Toys R Us and a Babies R Us gift card. Now my son is 15 now, John, so that Babies R Us was gift card probably long since overdue, but the store went out of business anyway, so I couldn't use that gift card. So I know for all of those reasons, probably and more, there may be more effective ways to do that. And John, a few of the ideas that you have floated, life insurance
Mhm.
and or that custodial account, or maybe even an annuity in a kid or a grandkid's name.
Well, Peter, the thing about it is, with a life insurance policy on a child, the premium is going to be small. So we can insure their life. We can start a savings account for them, and we can insure them during their life. And at some point in time later, we give them the policy, and they can continue it. And it's like getting it at a much lower premium. Or if we do a 10 or a 20 pay, then the insurance is paid up. They've got it for life. We don't have to worry about it, but they also have cash value that they can take out. As we know, as long as they don't cash the policy in or go over what we paid in it, they can take that out tax free. So it's a good way to save. Maybe I can get my first home that way or make my first deposit on my car. There are a lot of things that life insurance, we think about it for death, but it's much more than that, Peter. And also later, that child may not be insurable. So that could be the only life insurance policy they can ever get.
Yeah, there can be a guaranteed level of value at some point in the future at
Yep.
a predetermined maturity date. It can present the opportunity for secured growth through the value through maturity, the
Yep.
flexible use of that money for life insurance or for college or anything else,
Mhm.
and the eventual conversion, John, as you mentioned, to adult life insurance. If you get it
Yeah.
for a minor child, they can eventually convert it to adult life insurance without having that pre-qualification. So there are times and uses and places and life insurance for children or grandchildren may be a valuable gift.
Well, that's right, Peter. You can also set up an annuity so that you contribute so much each year to that annuity or a one-time payment. Now, you have to understand that the children you can't take money out of an annuity under 59 and a half without paying the government a 10% penalty. So we want to be careful what we set it up for and how we use it. But it's certainly a way that we can start setting aside money for them that later is going to be there for retirement or for special needs.
And then, John, that custodial account, basically, this is an investment account that the parent or grandparent controls in the name of the recipient, the child, if they're, a minor child or grandchild. And you mentioned that one of the options inside of those accounts might be what's called a DRIP, a dividend reinvestment program could
Right.
be a good option.
Yeah, well, that way what's happening is I'm buying stocks or I'm buying the mutual funds, and they're every year they're making deposits with principal or capital gains and interest. So as that stock declares a dividend, then I'm buying more shares at a lower price, or I'm building up a cash account that I can buy something else with. So it's a great way to have that account grow, whether the stock grows or not. And if we buy quality blue chip stocks that pay a long-term dividend, have history of paying a long-term dividend, then that's going to be great for our kids. And it's going to be a great way to show them how money can grow, Peter. Nothing better. I was talking to a 17-year-old the other day, and we were talking about how his account had grown and how he was excited that, hey, I made this and this and this. And it gave him the incentive to want to save more.
Quite literally the gift that keeps on giving, John.
Yeah.
The dividends just keep growing and reinvesting there. Um, Also, you mentioned, John, that for any child or grandchild who is working, who's earning income, a great way to make a gift would be to match up to a certain amount of that directly into a Roth IRA in their name. What a wonderful way to give a child a head start in life.
Well, that's right, Peter. Have them set some aside some of their earnings and then you match it. And it's certainly a way that we can get them jump started. And if we start at an early age, that money's going to grow. And as you know, and I know, taxes are going up. Roth IRAs are tax free. So as it grows, I don't have to pay taxes when I take it out. I can take the principal out anytime I need to. So it's a great way to have a tax free account that I can use for I can use for anything. But if I've got a college payment down, tuition, I need books, whatever, dorm, I can use that out of that Roth IRA, or I can sit there and let it grow. And it's a great way to get started with a family.
And you said there was a second way to look at the opportunities that we have in Roths as gifts, and that is another option to manage the taxes on your own IRA is a wonderful gift in the legacy, passing on that account generationally.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when we pass that on, it's going to pass on tax free. So we don't have to worry about what the effect is on the heirs. When we have a regular IRA 401k, they have to take that money out in 10 years, pay taxes on it. So, that's going to create more burden on their individual taxes. So,
John, what do you do with that one though? Do you send a card that says "Merry Christmas, I made a Roth conversion this year"?
well, there was somebody I read about that actually set up a fake charity, right?
Yeah, George Costanza on Seinfeld did that, right?
Yeah,
Making charitable donations in people's names. We don't want to do that one either.
So they are, but I mean, I think that what you do is you send them a nice card, explain what you did, and tell them about it. And going back to those gift cards, Peter, I just happened to think, if you're going to give a gift card to somebody, tell them about it. I got a backpack one time, and 4 years later, I found the $50 gift card. But it's you got to tell them what you're doing, explain to them why you did it and why you want them to use it, and hope that they understand what you did for them.
Yeah, I've actually gotten a gift card before, John, that when I went to redeem it actually didn't have any value. And I wondered if the person had just taken one off the shelf and not put any money on it and said, "Hey, here's a gift card for you." It's a cheap way to get out of Christmas, I guess.
They give you that little bitty receipt you're supposed to send with it.
You're supposed to. Yeah. Back to the Roth conversions for the intent of legacy and conveying the value behind that, though, John. I think that dovetails into another one of your points, which was conversations about money. Yeah. Talking and discussing these things openly and setting up your own plan is a gift to your loved ones.
Oh, yeah, Peter. We talk all the time here that, we don't think that financial education is taught enough in the public schools. And if it's not taught at home, then the kids aren't going to understand it. So it's a great way for us to pass on to them why we're saving, how we're saving, what the different options are, and to make them aware of the things that they can do in their lives to get a jump start. These credit cards aren't that, when your child says, "Dad, buy that for me," and you say, "Well, I don't have any money," and he says, "Well, but you got a credit card." You got to understand that you got to pay for it. And so we have to teach these kids early the cost of debt, the cost of certain choices that they make and how that's going to affect them. And I think that is the problem. We're not passing that on. While these may seem like not very personal gifts, if you have that conversation, Peter, they become great gifts because we're passing along a legacy that they will take with them.
John, you joked about the fake charities, but in reality, the holiday season is one of the top times of year where Americans do make donations to charities and nonprofits, and of course, tithing to churches all throughout the year. But if we are making actual real donations to charity, there are ways to do that more effectively than others. And specifically after 70 and a half, you've kind of got a message that there is a way that we should be doing this if possible.
Well, right. If we're not, right now, very few people are itemizing their taxes. because we just have that large personal exemption. So if you're not itemizing, then certainly at 70 and a half, and even in some cases, if you are itemizing, you can pass your charitable contribution from your IRA directly to the charity. It has to go from IRA to charity, and that counts as part of your RMD, or won't count for your RMD, and it's tax free. You don't pay taxes on that money. So it's a great way after 70 and a half, and we can give up to, I think it's what, $100,000 per individual now based upon the new regulations.
Yep.
And so it's a great way to get that money out of that taxable account to the charity and not have to pay taxes on it. And if you've got a large stock position where you bought Home Depot and now you're at 50, 60% gain, it's a good way, even in a non-qualified account, for us to get that money over.
Given highly appreciated stock or given right out of the IRA. The charity appreciates it regardless, but these are ways to be more efficient from our giving standpoint with those donations. So yeah, after 70 and a half, those qualified charitable distributions, and then passing the age of 73 now, but whenever RMDs are encountered, it also checks that box, those qualified charitable distributions out of our IRA. So as we enter the gift giving season, John, money and finance are usually more often than not, often stressful, or at least put to the test, right? But sometimes money is the gift, and when it is, we want to do so effectively, efficiently, and impactfully. And today, I think we've covered several different ideas to do that. And if somebody wants to learn more, they can always call the best of the best in financial services, those 10 straight years as named by the readers of the Lake City Reporter, your team there at GulfCoast Financial Services. Well,
that's right, Peter. They can give us a call anytime. And I would want to emphasize that, after the holiday season, take your grandson or your son, your parents, your children, down to your financial advisor and have him explain, or she explain to him what they are, or what they've got. Let us work through the conversation with them and explain the benefits.
Yeah. Planning is intended to have generational impact, and it should have generational information as well, right? Everybody should be informed about what's going on, be on the same page.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, again, ladies and gentlemen, give John and his team a call, 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018. I apologize. John, what were you saying?
Oh, that was it, Peter. I just think that, at this time of season, we need to be thankful for everything we have and everything that's been given to us. And we need to pass that feeling on to the ones that are going to succeed us. And so it's a great way, what we talked about today. It isn't, a lot of times it's not appealing to talk about life insurance or annuities or things like that. But everything has a reason, and it certainly at this time of the season is a great time to start teaching those kids how to save.
Well, if you'd like to learn more about how to retire, you want to leave a positive financial impact, you want to pay less in taxes, keep more of your money, get a better understanding of your investments and all the options that you have, click on the links around the video to get in touch with the team at GulfCoast Financial Services, or give them a call, 386-755-9018, 386-755-9018. Get in touch with John Kuykendall and the team from GulfCoast Financial Services. Get that financially focused written retirement income plan in your hands to make the rest of 2024, 2025, and all the years thereafter a financial gift to yourself and your loved ones. That's through having an efficient and effective plan. And John, we always appreciate the time and the education that you give to us here on Financial Focus.
Thank you, Peter, and don't eat too much turkey now.
Yep. I'm not gonna do that. Gonna blow that one. You take care.
All right, buddy.
Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and tune in for more Financial Focus by visiting GulfCoastFinancial.net. The The information presented on this program is provided for informational purposes only, without warranty of accuracy, completeness, or suitability for a particular purpose. This program is not intended to be and does not constitute financial, investment, legal, or tax advice. This information is general in nature, not specific enough to be construed as advice. You should not make any decision based on the information presented on this program without independent consultation with an appropriately licensed professional or competent advisor. Investment in securities or the market involves a potential risk for loss of principal. Trading, therefore, may not be suitable for all listeners. Annuity guarantees are based solely on the financial strength and claims-paying ability of the issuing company. Withdrawals of growth from annuities may be taxable as ordinary income in the year it is taken. Individuals should review contracts for specific details of the product's features and costs. Early withdrawals may subject the owner to penalties, fees, or taxes. John Kuykendall is registered with and securities are offered through Kovac Securities Inc., member FINRA SIPC, found online at www.kovacsecurities.com. Advisory services are offered through GulfCoast Financial Services Inc., a registered investment advisor in Florida. GulfCoast Financial Services Inc. is not affiliated with Kovac Securities Inc. or Kovac Advisors Inc. Past performance is not indicative of future results. All investing involves risk. Investment decisions should be based on your own goals, time horizon, and tolerance for risk. Due to various factors including changing market conditions and/or applicable laws, the content may no longer be reflective of current opinions or positions. GulfCoast Financial Services Inc. has been named as Best of the Best since 2015 in the category of Best Financial Advisor in the Lake City, Florida area. The award was based on receiving the most votes in this category from a survey offered and tabulated by the Lake City Reporter. No direct or indirect compensation was provided to the Lake City Reporter and/or any raters, and the award is not contingent on future direct or indirect compensation offered to the newspaper and/or raters. Portfolio performance is not a criterion, and voting is open to any readers of the newspaper.